Hello. Welcome to Innovation 360 Institute's webinar presentation in the Innovation Power Tools series, Converting Human Need into Innovation. Today I'd like to talk briefly about the concept of perception and how you as an organization can begin to look towards innovation by perceiving your products and services not as end items, but more as fulfilling jobs that your customers are requiring to be done. As you know, your customers purchase your products and services to truly fulfill a need or more than one need. By redefining our products and services in that light, we can gain additional perspective on what really needs to be serviced, what really needs to be provided to the marketplace, and potentially break free from our traditional pattern of better, faster, cheaper products and services to truly be able to jump ahead of the competition. So today we're going to talk briefly about how we redefine our organization's output as not as products and services to be purchased, but more as jobs that are required to be done. As we look at break down jobs to be done, we'll try to understand the four different categories associated with these jobs, and then we'll highlight the 6 steps that we use to define customer value and getting us closer to the breakthrough opportunities that may exist in our marketplace. So let's start off with just a quick scenario here. I've got a friend named Jake, and Jake needs a hole drilled. He needs a hole drilled in the wall. Now, if you were any vendor associated with this particular exercise, maybe you're the drill bit manufacturer, or maybe you're the drill manufacturer, then and you look at this opportunity to try to refine your product that you would be delivering to Jake, you might try to create better drill bits, sharper drill bits, longer lasting drill bits that create less waste or less trash. But really we have to go one step further because when we look at this picture, we really don't know what Jake wants to do. Does Jake want to hang a heavy picture on the wall? Is that the reason for the drill hole? Maybe he's installing a shelf, or possibly he's a construction worker and he wants to attach a joist to the frame of a house, frame of a building. Maybe he's poking a hole through a door to install a security viewer. We don't really know if we were to just look at the outcome or just look at the end item, the performance requirements that are placed on the end product here. So really the simple question that we have to ask ourselves, not just in this scenario, but in all scenarios, we have to ask ourselves, what is the real job here? What is the outcome that the customer is expecting to fulfill? What is the job that needs to be done here? When we go to that level, we begin to understand really what drives our products and services, and it really allows us to break free from the stifling boundaries that we've set forward around our very valuable products and services and our very valuable trademarks and our very valuable patents. So to form innovation, we really have to kind of look at the map and how we actually create products and services. I want to give you our traditional pathway here. Traditional pathway typically starts with an understanding of what our customer expects. And as organizations, we attempt to measure those expectations based on certain performance criteria or certain perception criteria. These are our traditional satisfier requirements, our better, faster, cheaper requirements, speed, quality, time, those types of things. From those expectations, we drive our technical solutions, and our technical solutions become our products and services. Now, to replicate those products and services, to try to make money, we build work processes around those products and services so that we can manufacture goods, or so we can deliver services to our clientele very efficiently and be able to enjoy some kind of margin after everything is said and done. Now, as we look at this process, this is our typical window of focus. We recognize that there are two different ways that we can improve these products and services. We can actually improve the products and services themselves by redesigning the products or service or enhancing the products or service, the actual design criteria that goes into those products and services. We can also do some process-related improvement as well. How do we reformulate our workflows so that we can enjoy greater margins or reduce costs, reduce inventories, and the like. So this is really where we play. As the provider, we look at those expectations, we turn those expectations into products and services, and then we build processes around those products and services so that we can replicate and make money. But really the window is far greater than that. We have to increase the window, and we have to go further back into the customer's minds. And we have to expand that window of focus and look at really not just the customer from what they expect from a product or service point of view, but we really have to look at what they are trying to do with those products and services to answer a question, to solve a problem, to fulfill some kind of a job requirement that they are attempting to fulfill. And that gets us into the realm of innovation, because really when you look at it, our customers are there and they exist in our marketplace. Either they're introduced to us or they've been there all along because they have some kind of an outcome that they're expecting to fulfill with regards to their jobs that they're required to complete. Those outcomes drive their expectations. If those expectations aren't fulfilled, their outcomes aren't complete, and their jobs end up becoming incomplete, which, of course, as you know, leads to a dissatisfied customer, and a dissatisfied customer is one that typically continues to search the marketplace for some kind of solution that'll get them to where they need to be. So we really can look in terms of that particular path as our innovation and design area or realm. True innovation occurs when one organization or one individual steps outside of the typical focus, the typical window of focus, and into more of an expanded window. So now that we see both of the windows here, we have the typical window of focus where our provider plays. We also have the expanded window of focus where our customer plays. Now our customer, of course, is keenly interested in our products and services as well, so our customer will extend beyond the window of focus. But again, our customer looks at the current marketplace and understand what's available to him or her to address a specific job that they're required, that they're trying to accomplish. It's really up to us to try to get into the minds of our customer base and really understand what it is they're trying to accomplish with our products and services in order for us to truly innovate the products and services that we provide to the market. That's truly the goal, and that's really the focus of this webinar, is that section of the jobs to be done. So let's get into greater detail about the jobs to be done, because we understand that that what we define as an organization in terms of our products and services is really an attempt to translate based on the requirements that are set forward by our customers. But again, we are using rather a diluted form of those customer requirements. We have to get further into what our customers are really trying to accomplish. So what does the customer want done? Let's begin this process with the end in mind. So understanding what the customer wants to get done, what the customer wants to experience in terms of their outcomes, will help us better address tomorrow's solutions rather than trying to continuously hone and refine the current solutions that we have in the marketplace. We can break these jobs to be done down into 4 specific types. Let's look at each one very quickly here. There are some jobs that are functional jobs. Our customers have a specific functional activity in mind. Let's go back to Jake. Jake's functional job, for instance, is an attempt to try to frame a house. So he requires a solution that'll allow him to frame a house. He's looking for sturdiness. He's looking for an ability to attach two different pieces of wood together to maintain stability within the frame itself. Functional jobs, one type. Another type could be personal jobs. We're looking for some way to accomplish a solution that'll make us feel better. A good example here, as you can see, is a haircut. We get a haircut, not necessarily for the functionality, but mainly for the way it makes us feel. It makes us feel clean, it makes us feel professional, it makes us feel organized, whatever. We could also have social jobs out there. Think about car purchases. When we purchase a car, yes, we have some functional intent in mind, but there's also some social drivers there as well. We'd like the perception that we carry when we purchase a vehicle. We purchase sports cars because we want to build up our status. We want our neighbors to think that we're better off than them. Who knows? Whatever drives you, right? So some jobs can be social in nature. It places you in a certain status or certain area within the culture. There's also what we can call ancillary jobs. This is really kind of a catch-all criteria, if you will, for certain jobs that are done. And think about the shoes that this athlete is wearing. Track and field stars or track and field athletes purchase shoes probably for the functional job of traction and speed. So they're looking for things that are lightweight, but there may be some ancillary jobs as well. They want to reduce the amount of wear and tear that happens onto their ankles or their knees, for instance, or they are looking for stability because they may have a different form of their sole or a form of their heel. So this really makes up the whole family of jobs that our customers are building their outcome expectations from. We, of course, interpret this and try to provide them with a solution through our products and services. But again, going back to the beginning here, we have to truly understand what is the goal and what is the job that our customers are trying to fulfill. So we can do this by taking ourselves through a development of all of the jobs that our customers wish to be done in a specific area or a specific intent. So our first activity here, if we can just go through a 6-step process, our first step here would just be to identify our focus market. Now again, we typically drive our niches, if you will, or companies typically drive their niches in traditional marketing ways and build products and services that cater to those particular niches. Let's try to break free from that paradigm, if you will, and look more at what is our growth strategy for servicing future clients or servicing new clients, trying to break into new industries. What is our actual growth, organic growth strategy? Now we can take a look at one way, which would be a core growth strategy, which is where we're trying to focus on the unmet outcomes through the optimization of our core products and services. We take an example of your common everyday shoe here. Shoes haven't changed too much in terms of their form, fit, and function over the last 100, 150 years or so. They still look the same. They still have the same basic intent. And really the only improvements that we've seen are through the materials that have been used, maybe through the technology in the soles or in the way in which shoes are utilized. But again, our core growth strategy would be one in which really focuses on better, faster, cheaper requirements. How do we make a better shoe? How do we make a shoe that is cheaper, a shoe that is of higher quality for the same amount of expense? We could also approach this from the perspective of what's called disruptive growth strategy. And rather than the core growth, which really looks at your existing customers and how you provide them with better solutions, a disruptive growth strategy would be looking at tangent customers that are in the realm of your industry, but not necessarily deeply rooted into your specific products and services. The example I can provide for you here is in the case of this particular product that we have, Crest and their white strips. Again, focusing on an existing job, teeth whitening, but again, for a new batch of customers or in a new realm of the industry itself. In the past, teeth whitening was only done by dentists. You had to go to a dentist if you wanted to whiten your teeth. Crest has found a solution to be able to provide home teeth whitening care. Another strategy we could look at for organic growth could also be considered related job growth strategy. Here is where we would actually bundle a series of solutions that can achieve more than one job to be done. My example for you is, of course, the smartphone. Think about the smartphone, and of course, we don't have to go too far back to realize that at one point in time we didn't have cellular technology. Once that cellular technology became readily available, it was one job to be done. That job to be done was to be able to have telephone access anywhere you travel, anywhere that you go, so that you can receive and make phone calls to people that you needed to come in contact with. The smartphone, of course, bundled a bunch of other jobs to be done as well. Now, not only do we have an object that makes phone calls, we also have an object that takes pictures, plays music, accesses the internet, keeps track of your daily schedule, gives you an opportunity to review documents and create documents. So we have now one product that services multiple needs. We can also look at what's called new job growth. And this is an interesting strategy that really is bound on technology. Here's where we expect technology to open doors for us and allow us to exploit a new piece of technology with a current or existing job to be done. eBay, for instance, back in the day when eBay started, attempted to very successfully provide a forum for people to trade goods and services online using the technology of the internet. We already had rummage sales. We already had used car dealerships. We already had places where you can find previously owned products. eBay just made it easier for us to be able to access multiple markets and be able to buy and sell goods. So our goal here in step one is really to understand what our focus market is. What kind of growth strategy does your company wish to partake? How old is the technology that you have now? What does it look like in the future with regards to technological changes that might affect your products and services? And how can you best exploit those products and services to provide the wow factor in achieving customer delight? So once we understand that market, we can then move on to step two, which is to identify the jobs that need to be done by our customers. So we have to really understand the places where insufficient solutions currently exist. So a good place to look, of course, would be looking at your current product and service offerings and looking at the realm of de facto solutions that also are introduced by third-party manufacturers or third-party service providers. My example that I always use in my classes is if you walk into a home improvement store or you walk into a automobile supply store and you go to the end caps of each of the rows of products and services, you will typically find tomorrow's customer delighters or those de facto solutions that third-party suppliers are providing to the market because they see or they've identified, recognized a need. Garmin and our family of global positioning system providers were those de facto third-party solution providers just before the automobile industry picked up on it and now included navigation systems into their vehicles as part of their attempts to satisfy a specific job to be done. You could also look at homegrown solutions that your customers are having to build themselves, coming up with ways to fill voids where your products and service leave them short of fulfilling a specific job to be done. Many homegrown solutions occur in the computer and IT industry, where computer programmers are actually writing code to fill voids that are left behind by standard off-the-shelf computer applications. Third step here, after we're able to identify those jobs to be done, is to actually categorize the jobs to be done. Now again, I want you to try to, first of all, seek parent-child relationships with these jobs to be done. Each job typically has a primary job, but also has a family of ancillary jobs as well. This family of jobs to be done all need to be considered and factored in when the technical requirements are developed for new innovations. We want to try to steer clear of our typical marketing and functional categorizations of our products and services as well, staying in the family of just the understanding of the jobs that are required to be accomplished by our customers. So try to look at it from a sense of how do we organize a typical iPod, for instance, or a MP3 player. The functional job to be done here can be categorized, or listening to music can be categorized under the functional job to be done. There may be some personal jobs to be done. We want to organize and manage our music. An emotional job to be done could also be something to the effect that we want to be able to share songs with our friends, be able to provide them with those songs as well. There may be some ancillary jobs to be done. Not only do we want to be able to listen to music, but we want to have an access point where we can actually download songs and place them onto a device that allows us to accomplish all of the other jobs to be done. You'll notice, of course, that there is a lot of interaction that goes along with these jobs to be done. Understanding that interaction and being able to provide a product and or a service that gives all of these jobs, all of these outcome expectations, will best meet the customer's needs, and we'll be able to find a place in the market very quickly. Step 4 here is to take those jobs to be done and actually create job statements. Let's try to formulate these job statements in a way in which the customer would be able to explain it to you. Understanding the job to be done would be to define it in the customer's mind. So start off with an action verb. You're either going to make something, or you're going to reduce something, or you're going to eliminate something. Start off with that action verb and then follow it up with an object of that actual action, and then clarify that action with some context. Provide some context in which the job is actually being performed. Remember Jake? Jake wanted to drill a hole. Drilling a hole was the expectation that we as the drill bit manufacturer came up with as our assumption of what the customer wanted. But that's not really the job that needed to be done. Even though Jake is a very skilled craftsperson and knows exactly what needs to happen, the provider of that solution is only reading it from the sense of their products and services, from their own paradigm. So we have to go beyond that to understand what the job is that is being created. Jake, in this case, wanted to attach a joist to a wall. So that becomes the job to be done. So let's take a look at some other examples of creating some job statements here. Listen to music while exercising. This is the job that this particular customer wants. Drill a 10-millimeter hole through cement. Again, a very, very specific job that needs to be done, which could actually give us a greater sense of what the solution might actually be. Stop a persistent itch on my skin. That could be a very important job that needs to be done, and there may be a multitude of solutions out there above and beyond what's already provided in your suite of products and services. The fifth step in developing jobs that need to be done is to actually prioritize the whole field of jobs to be done that you've developed. Consider the current satisfaction levels, for instance, relative to your competition as a starting point. Where do you find significant gaps between what you provide and what your competition provides in the market today? Where do those gaps reside and what facets are those gaps? Are they quality-based? Are they time-based? Are they cost-based? Again, those give you the core elements, but there may be other elements involved either. Right? Better, faster, cheaper opportunities are always a good place to start, but they're also they also blind you from future opportunities. So we want to try to step just outside of those satisfier requirements and look more towards the delighter requirements if we're really wanting to find innovation in our innovation opportunities. Really the best opportunities, though, are those jobs that customers want to get done and there is no current solution available in the market. Now, of course, those companies that are swift, those companies that are forward-leaning, or that are innovative enough themselves because they are one of those customers that are trying to accomplish a job and no solution exists, they are the de facto third-party suppliers that fill that void and are able to grab market share just for that little facet of jobs that are not being accomplished now. So your charge really is to look for those opportunities where no good solution exists. Steve Jobs did this with the iPod back in the day when he understood that people wanted transportable music to be able to take all of their music and be able to utilize this new technology called the Internet to be able to download, transfer, move digital media. We already had digital media in the form of CDs, but move it a little bit more efficiently and a little bit more compactly. Our final step here in developing jobs to be done is to actually define the actual outcome expectation, the actual measurement system that the customers use to determine whether they were successful in fulfilling the job that they were hoping to get done. So I want you to think about the outcome expectations not in terms of just the customer itself, but also in terms of the provider. After all, we still want to make money. As the provider, we still want to be able to deliver a good to the marketplace and have a little bit left over after getting paid and after paying our suppliers to be able to build our businesses, to be able to enjoy some kind of equity, and to continue to make more money. So it's not just about what the customers want. It's also about what the provider wants. Somewhere in between, we should be able to find a very good working ground for a product and service and for an innovation. And it's not just the desired outcomes for providers and for customers. It's also the undesirable ones as well. If we can understand both sides, desired and undesired, we can get a better glimpse of where our playground is for innovation. The goal really here is to just see the jobs to be done from all perspectives and be able to facilitate some kind of win-win between us and our customer so that we can continuously enjoy profits, can we continuously stay in business while also servicing the marketplace and enjoying a greater relationship with our customers. Let's take a look at another example here. I'm going to break down a job to be done. Here is the job that needs to be done. We want to be able to clean our clothes at home. We know that there's solutions out there in the marketplace, but let's just take a look at what those desired and undesired outcomes would be for both us and for our customers. So desired outcomes here would be for our customer: stain removal, easy cleaning, fast cleaning. I want my clothes to smell fresh, and I want the clothes to actually look fresh. From a provider standpoint, though, we're looking at also our desired outcomes of revenue growth, steady profit. We'd like to have customer loyalty. We'd like to have steady demand. We also like to be able to manufacture whatever the outcome is, whatever the innovation is, at low cost, so that we can keep our revenues at a expected level. So that's the desired side. What about the undesired side? Well, our customers certainly don't want to have any kind of undesired smell from their clothes after they use this solution. They don't want their clothes to be damaged. They don't want them to be wrinkled. They'd like it free from any kind of allergens or any kind of chemicals that could be harmful to the skin. Also, they don't want any foreign particles remaining in their clothes. So, again, those undesired outcomes, if they were to see them, actually affect their degree of satisfaction and may also impact how they choose their very next solution or whether they shop around some more. We also have undesired outcomes as well. While we would like to have revenue growth and steady profit, we certainly don't want any kind of product liability and lawsuits as a result of our products. We don't want any imitation products out there taking away from our margins and working into our market share. Don't want to have any environmental complaints. We certainly don't want to have supply shortages. And above all else, we'd like to try to avoid any kind of customer dissatisfaction. So somewhere within those 4 quadrants resides our playground. And our playground holds within it some innovation that allows us to address all of the desired needs, all of the desired outcomes for us and our customer, while also avoiding any undesirable outcomes for our customer and for us. Now that's a quick down and dirty of jobs to be done. It's really just it's a conceptual perspective on how we look at and how we address feeding our market with goods and services to address those needs. We talked a little bit about redefining that organizational output, not just as a list of product and service offerings, which are built on our perception of what our customers expect, but really going beyond into an expanded window of focus and looking at what the actual jobs that our products and services are being used for. What is the actual job that needs to be done? Once we understand that, we can begin to look at how the 4 types of jobs to be done can address the customer expectation, the field of expectations, and the outcome expectations that our customers are looking for. Then we broke down the 6 steps to actually defining the customer value through these jobs to be done. Going forward, we can take these jobs to be done and we can begin to address potential innovations that may exist out there that we haven't discovered yet or our competitors haven't discovered yet. We can begin to feed our pipeline of potential product and service offerings that better meet the needs of our customer because we are directly dealing with the jobs that need to be done. Let's go back to Jake again and think about what he really wanted to have done. His job was to actually attach a joist to a frame. Does a drill hole meet that need? Possibly not. Perhaps there are other solutions out there that might actually be able to give him what he needs. Liquid Nails came up with a solution for that specific job to be done. And now we have different alternatives for attaching joists to frames. Whether that's a good solution or not, I have no idea. I'm not a construction worker myself, but I can begin to see how other opportunities may exist out there, other innovations that might actually transform a company's existing products and services that will allow them to lead themselves into the next generation of products and services and not base their success on honing and refining their existing core customer products and services. That ends our discussion today on jobs to be done and one of our innovation power tools.